Nancy, are you able to hear me? Oh, shucks.
I can hear you.
Oh, you can hear me?
I can hear.
Okay, excellent. I'm getting my computer set up over here.
All right.
Although I don't know if I can get my camera. At least we'll have my voice.
Oh, we want to see your face.
I'll work on it.
Some people are meeting you for the first time.
That's true. All right, I'm going to open my laptop and see what happens. Just hang
Okay.
tight.
I am going to look for the packet.
Okay, let's see. I'm just going to.
Oh, where this went.
All right, can you see me?
Hold on, let me look. Yeah, there you go.
Okay. Awesome. Nice to see you.
Yeah, you too.
Thanks.
So what the link she sent that she said the packet was there is just the agenda. It's not the packet. So that's what I'm looking for.
Okay, let's.
Look here if I can find it. Yeah, here it is. Okay.
You got it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Well, it should be an interesting meeting for your first meeting.
Yes, I'm excited.
Good. How's it been going? Have you been meeting a lot of people?
I have been meeting everybody. So I'm trying to keep track of names and faces and different organizations they're with and all of that. So it's been a really fun and busy 2 weeks.
Good. Yeah, it's a lot. I think everybody should wear name tags all the time at my age.
I think that's not a bad idea.
We could just have our, names tattooed on our foreheads and
Either way.
yeah.
Oops, we have some folks with raised hands, although I don't see them in the meeting.
Huh, maybe somehow they're not. Can you see who they are?
Tim, Shannon.
Yeah, they should all be in the meeting.
Oh, goodness.
You have
Okay.
to let them in or something. They should all be panelists. Here they come.
Okay, there they are.
Yep, they're coming in.
And I'm Judy. Oh, there we go.
There's Judy. I don't know why the hands are raised on the other ones.
All right.
I'm only seeing two screens here, Nancy and.
On my screen, they're all on my screen, but Tim, Shannon, and Judith. One of the Judiths has her hand up. Let's see.
Okay. And I'm not seeing a chat function on here. Is there normally a chat function during your meetings?
There's
only if we let
no.
them. Am I in yet? Yep, there I am.
Your
Yep.
name is, but why do you have your hand up?
I don't know. I'm so sorry. Is it down now?
Yes. Judith. Oh, wait, yep. Everyone's hand is down now. Okay.
Yeah.
Can you hear me? Can you hear Tim?
Yes, we can
Yep.
hear you, Tim.
Okay,
can't
I
see you. We can't-
don't see me in the
I
group.
don't see me either.
We don't
Oh,
see Tim, Judith, or Shannon,
Hi, Nancy.
or
um,
either Judith, actually.
Nancy, are you drinking kombucha?
I am. Is that okay?
Totally.
It's non-alcoholic as much as I'm tempted to drink tonight.
okay. I should be adding everyone as I'm promoting you to panelists. Okay.
Is everybody here? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hey, guys.
Shannon.
Let's give it like 2 minutes, see who else joins. How about that? Everybody cool with that?
Your
Sounds
last
good.
meeting, yeah.
How is everybody? Any exciting news?
I think that there will be exciting news in the meeting, perhaps.
Uh-oh.
I broke my collarbone
Oh, no, how'd you do that?
on the bike.
Oh,
It's the same collarbone I broke 11 years ago.
was
Nice.
it within blocks of your home? Because I hear most accidents happen there.
No, I actually had to ride about 20 miles with a broken collarbone. That wasn't too fun.
Ugh.
That's rough. All right, guys, I think we can call this meeting to order. At 6:02, Nancy's here, Steve's here, Andrea's here, Judith and Tim. We need to amend the agenda a little bit. We had a little, I think me and Tim were both out of town. My resignation is not effective until tomorrow, so we need to strike that. And then the election of the officers will be at you guys' next meeting. We talked to city clerk and everybody involved in the agenda process, and they said we need to do that.
My agenda says effective June 27th, which is tomorrow.
Right.
Okay.
I guess we shouldn't, I don't know why they put that on there. And then the election of officers won't be till the next meeting.
Okay.
And then we want to add 2 things under old business. Oh, no, they did that. They did that. Sorry. Man, Tim, would this be old business or not to add an Eagle Mountain site visit?
I think it's old business. It's Eagle
Okay.
Mountain. We've talked about it before and all that kind of stuff. And Steve is willing to take everybody under his wing and lead on.
So let's put that under number 9 as
Yeah.
old business. And then if someone could just make a motion that says so moved, and we need to vote on changing the agenda.
I'll make the motion to move it to number 9.
I will second that. This is Andrea.
Hey, Andrea. So
This
all
is
those in
Judy.
favor say, or raise your hand, say aye, whatever we do.
Aye.
That passes unanimously. So we can move on to approval of the minutes. Did anybody get a chance to read the minutes? And does anybody want to make a motion? I think if you guys want, and everybody agrees, we can make a motion to approve all of the minutes.
I was at the last meeting and I was at the site visit as well, and it's not in the minutes on the site visit.
Okay, we'll have that amended or edited to add Judith on the minutes of the site visit.
I thought they were
Anybody else?
I thought one thing, I thought they were very good. Yeah, they were nicely done.
Quality was great. I'd move to approve the minutes of February 27th, April 24th, May 22nd, and May 24th with one correction. Adding Judy Carnick to the,
Judith is Chandler.
you're right, Judy Carnick to the list of those attending on the 24th.
Cool.
Nicely done.
Is there a second?
I
Grant,
second the motion.
All those in favor? Say aye, raise your hand, whatever we got to do, pass unanimously. And we can let the record show that Cheryl Klein has joined the meeting as well. And that takes us to agenda review and public comment on non-agenda items. Does anybody have anything else to add to the agenda?
Robin also joined.
Oh, Robin joined. Let the minutes show. Anybody have anything they want to add to the review? Agenda review? Nope. Is there anybody in the public that would like to speak? I can't see that. Is there anybody even in the audience? Nope. All right. Well, that's quick and easy. We'll go to reports. Parks and Rec Director introduction. That's Jillian. How are you doing?
All right. Good evening, everyone. I'm Jillian Rossi. I'm doing great. I'm excited to sit in on my first OSAC meeting. Just a brief intro to me. I recently started here in Manitou Springs on June 7th, and I'm coming from the city of Colorado Springs. So I worked as the senior park ranger with the Trails Open Space and Parks program. That's the TOPS program for about 4.5 years before starting my new career here. So very familiar with the trails and open spaces and parks in Colorado Springs, and excited to get to know the ones here in Manitou Springs.
Anybody have questions, comments? Thank you, Jillian. We're very excited to have you.
Thanks.
Tim.
Yeah, Jillian, you also said that you had a lot of experience with acquisition. Is that right?
I don't have a lot of experience with acquisitions.
Oh, okay.
So we had a director above me in our TOPS department. She's now our Parks and Rec director for Colorado Springs, Britt Haley. She was in charge of our land acquisitions for the TOPS program. And I'm
Okay.
not sure who they hired to replace that position. So she handled the acquisitions themselves, and then our staff was tasked with managing those properties.
Okay, thank you.
Nancy.
Jillian, could you talk a little bit about your experience with trails and trail maintenance?
Definitely. So when I started, we had just hired on our first ever trails project specialist. Some of you might have met him. His name's Dan Allen. He works for the city of Colorado Springs. He helps to lead the Pikes Peak crew leader training. So I shadowed Dan on a few trail projects. Once I became a supervisor, I didn't get as much time on the trail as far as maintenance and projects as I would have liked. But I was able to participate in a supervisory and project management level. So we've had a lot of different trail construction, a ton of trail restoration, specifically on our undesignated trails going through Red Rock Canyon open space and currently at Blodgett open space. So lots of trail restoration, management experience, and a working knowledge of the trails in Colorado Springs right now.
Have you been on any of our trails in Manitou yet, or in any of our open spaces?
I have not. I'm dying to get out there. I'm getting through my intro meetings and meet and greets these first few weeks, and then I plan on hitting the trail pretty heavily. So getting my hiking boots ready, and I can't wait to see what's out there.
Great. I think there's probably several of us who'd be happy to
Yeah.
go with you.
I
That'd
would.
be awesome.
I'll volunteer for that.
Thanks, Tim.
Tim even knows where he's going.
Well, that'll be helpful. That'll make one of us.
Jillian, I was for a little while, since I've been chair, I was trying to do a thing with the Parks and Rec director or whoever was in a position similar to that of the Monday before every meeting, go for a hike. So hold whoever takes my place to that, because you can go hiking on company time.
Great.
So
I'm gonna write that down. That sounds awesome.
yeah, try and continue. It was a really cool way to meet OSAC people and kind of chat about what you wanted to talk about in the meetings. So
Okay, great. Thank you.
anybody else? Nope. All right, Parks and Rec Advisory Board. Everybody should have the minutes in their packet. Does anybody have any questions or comments on any of that? Nancy?
I read them, and it says in there, there's a lot in there about Hickenbotham Flats and what they're planning to do with Hickenbotham Flats. They don't have a plan for Hickenbotham Flats, and it says in there that they're talking to OSAC, or they'll be talking to OSAC or whatever. I'm just wondering if anybody on OSAC's had any contact from them.
Not even a little bit on my part.
I just hate to see them get too far down the road with their plans without talking to us. They definitely have some plans, they're talking about parking, and they're talking about there's something in there about trail access and park and that kind of thing. And I see Danu every now and then, but I would hate to see them get too far down the road without talking to us, especially now that they're moving into the planning phase.
I have a
You know,
question.
Nancy, that's a good point. And I think we need to remember, or you guys need to remember moving forward, Skylar, and I hate to keep talking about past people since we have new people, but I think our plan was to make the master plan for us. So that would get them going. So I don't know if that's changed. I don't really, and we're going to talk about it later too. But that's a really good point. I think we need to be on the same page. And I think there was kind of an idea of like a big plan, but I think that might have went away with our other, because Skylar was talking about GoCo grants and we, make a united front and go at it together. So
Well, and they have put some money towards it, but they don't have enough money to do anything major. I know that because Danu said something about that at the last city council meeting report.
right.
So if you want me to, I would be glad to talk to Danu and just get an update as to what they're thinking regarding their, yeah.
I think that's a great idea.
Nancy, can I just interject for a second? I do know that, that it looks like that's gonna be a 2024 project at the earliest. I know that, Soda Springs Park.
You just cut out. You just
Oh.
cut out.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. We did not receive a grant that we're hoping to get for Soda Springs. So I don't know. Thank you for being willing to be the bridge that communicates with Higginbotham, because I think from what I heard, that's kind of been punted down the road a little bit now, especially with Jillian coming on board too. So, but definitely, you're absolutely right. We need to start those conversations.
Does it-
Judy, yeah,
I-
Judy.
Does anybody know if they, Parks, Danu, know about the acquisition of this past winter, that our whale tail piece?
They do.
They do know about that?
Yeah.
And then I also understood that there's a big move to put parking up there for Rainbow Falls, as well as a community garden. But it sounds like all that, am I right, Judith? Everything, whatever it is, it's gonna be iced for a while.
The move to do the parking is a private venture.
Oh, yeah, right, that's right. And he
Yeah,
was.
there's a lot in their minutes about all of that.
Right.
Mhm.
But yes, all of that, all of the things you mentioned are going to be discussed. Yeah. I just don't know.
But not in this year.
No. Well, I don't know if the discussions are going to happen this year. The project isn't going to kick off anytime this year. I mean, I think 2024 is a hopeful time to get that started. A lot of moving parts on that.
Hey,
one.
Judith, do you know how, and I should have looked this up because just out of curiosity, how planning commission voted on the private parking up there?
I don't know, because they also, part of that is they were talking about a helipad, right, for emergency vehicles. That's part of the conversation.
Well,
And
I know
also-
at the last planning meeting, Greg Wellens went in front of them to ask for private parking, like on his private property up there.
Yeah, and I don't know how those negotiations are taking place, because the overall master plan for the park piece included some parking. So I don't, there's now two different parking discussions, the parking that we would provide for the park, and then that private.
You're breaking up.
Oh, I'm sorry. Those are all discussions that are gonna, be had, but I don't know the answer to that. But I would reach out to Danu and ask her that, though.
I would just urge you guys as citizens, because I will not be a citizen anymore, to pay attention, because Adventures Out West and Greg Wellens is looking to do a commercial venture up there that would potentially change the landscape and the skyscape of Manitou for permanently. So just watch out,
Yeah,
pay attention.
I know he's talked about a gondola.
Yeah, for years. But he's got I'm real curious if he got approved for the parking lot. So paid parking up there from a private entity.
But it's his land, right?
It is.
Yes,
He's also trying to,
that's-
yeah.
go
Go ahead, Andrea, sorry.
I was just gonna remind actually Nancy that and y'all that in September, when we had our strategic meeting, we prioritized 50,000 for a budget for what I think we called like the Serpentine Corridor
Master plan.
master plan.
Mhm.
So I don't know that any steps were taken at all on that, but that would be something we can talk with Jillian about, but just if you want to talk to Danu about that too.
I think that's a really good idea because there may be some things going on with the city relative to that we don't know about too.
And I have that part of it on the agenda too. So
Okay.
our, because I think that was our number one priority, actually. So. You guys good to keep going?
Mhm.
All right, E, old business, trails and trail maintenance, Andrea. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. I'm about to go on vacation and I'm excited.
So you're doing even better.
Yep. So there isn't a whole lot of update from my last one, but on trails, I'm gonna meet with Jillian and Brett tomorrow and talk through some trail maintenance strategies. And probably talk about the RIMFI projects, just start to get that kind of going. But still our overall trail projects that we've prioritized are the Black Canyon stuff. So trying to get that stuff going. Again, I think that'll just be talking with Jillian and kind of hoping to get some leadership there somehow. We've been talking about the Eagle Mountain kind of area, looking at trails there. And then creek walk stuff, which is less related to what I've been talking about, but that's about it. Does anybody else have any trail updates they want to add?
Looks like a negative. Well, thank you very much, Andrea. Does anybody have questions or comments for Andrea? Nope. You guys are making this really, really easy.
Boom, boom. I'll do an update based on our meeting.
Okay.
for-
Yeah, I'm sure that you'll get a lot of information out of that. Or at least you'll give them a lot of information. So, cool. So OSAC management update, that's Tim.
Okay, well, there's two things under that, and that's this odd lot parcels evaluation, which I'll try to get through. I know there's about, I don't know, about 70 pages there, and most of it we've seen, and certainly not all of it needs to be discussed, but I will go through it just a little bit, and then we'll wrap this up, hide it away, and nobody will ever see it. I hope that's not quite true. But, anyway, there's an introduction here, and basically all it does is talk about where this list came from, the Becker's list, and that we're not entirely sure that's all of the open spaces, odd lot open spaces in town. And by odd lot, we mean all of the open spaces that aren't included in any of the management plans. Okay. And there's two different kinds of odd lots as we got into this and looking at them. There's the odd lots that really are single lots or double lots scattered around town. And that's about half of them. And the other half are odd lots on the North Red Mountain Escarpment, which I cleverly abbreviated as NRME. And there are about 30 some of those odd lots. So I've done the evaluation. There's two parts. The first part is the odd lots that are just scattered around town, and the second part is the odd lots that are associated with the North Red Mountain Escarpment. Okay, and we're on page 28, page 1 of this document. So also I wanted to point out, because I don't think it's well known is that the parcel numbers, they're actually hyphens in here would help on page, again, on page 28 of 96. The first three letters are the tax district, so that's the same for everybody, 740 in Manitou. The second four are neighborhood, and the last three are lots. So when you put these things in numeric order, it does have some geographic, it does map to it, the geography of the thing, not really well. We really need a separate index where these things are showing in the area and everything. But because right now it looks like if you skip down a little bit, skip down to that list of all the lots. I think that's on page 29, and you'll see all the ones that are marked NRME, North Red Mountain. Is everybody tracking on that?
Yes.
Okay, you'll see how those are all glommed together. This is just in numeric order as a parcel number, and you'll see that there are a lot of them. Anyway, so going over to the first part one, which is individual miscellaneous parcels, meaning that they're not in one of the management plans and they're not as part of the North Red Mountain. Here's what we done. If we just click somewhere, I'm going to see anything else there. Just click somewhere in the middle of this. Let's say 740-544-6002. Did everybody find that? 6002 at the end. That'll usually do it.
Hey, Tim, can you share what you're doing?
Ridge Road, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I share what I'm doing? Yes, I can. I'll just put this over here. And let's see. No, I can't find where I should go to share. Just
At the bottom.
give me a second. I gotta make this smaller because my screen over here is small. Sorry, this isn't cooperating. All right, so stream participant, raise hand. Where's share over here?
It's on the bottom usually.
I'm looking at the bottom. I don't see that.
The bottom of the whole screen. Huh.
Tim, I can share, let me try to share my screen because I think I have where you're talking about pulled up. So let me do this. Am I in the right area?
Yeah.
Not quite.
All right, let me know where I need to go.
Okay, go down quite a ways. Hold on, I really ought to be able to share this. Where did you go to share that?
So on the bottom of my screen.
Oh, share, where it says share screen, maybe?
Yes. All right, let me stop sharing. Now you
Okay.
can share.
Share screen wasn't. Yeah, okay, which screen am I sharing now? Tim? Oh, boy. Huh, okay. So share screen. Okay. Okay. There we go. Is that shared?
Yes.
Okay, let's play with this now. So anyway, this is all of these are in order of parcel numbers. And I've provided some pretty detailed directions Because you have to get to the Manitou School and get up to the, take the trail up by following these instructions here, but it'll get you up there right away. And so up here at the top, we've got the parcel number and then the location. And that's the LLC, the location, that's straight out of the assessor site, like most of this is. The area, so you know how big parcel you're looking for, and then who evaluated it. And there were 4 of us on this. Judy, Robin, Shannon, and I, so it wasn't a one-person deal. And then down at the bottom of that first page, it's got the link to the assessor site, and often, if it's a difficult find, I shouldn't have done that. Good, Tim.
But that's good, Tim. People can see what the assessor, if they haven't seen already, what the assessor's page looks like. And I think
I
that's,
think most everybody's seen that.
well, you never know.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
so
great.
here's the assessor site, and there's a tremendous amount of information in there. Pretty much everything besides the evaluations is in here. I won't go through all this.
And it will also tell you guys like who owns it and how to get a hold of them, most likely.
Right,
So,
right. So I've got a little introduction to the assessor site out there that I wrote up. So that's useful. Hopefully that's useful. Anyway, I'll go back to where we were here. Not my financial information. Oh, that's. Wait a minute. I apologize. Just a moment.
Does Piper get watched? Great, bye. Have fun. Oh, yeah. Hi.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to pull this up again.
does anybody have questions as we're going through it?
So Tim, you did this on all these parcels except the ones in red? Is that right?
No, let me get back to this again. I'm sorry. Hang things up. Let's see.
I have a question real quick. Maybe one of you guys knows. Are there new parcels being like, land in lieu kind of donations still happening? Like, does OSAC get notified if that happens? Like,
Yeah,
new parcels
so
might come up?
100%. The
Okay.
big thing is the land in lieu is only really kicked off for a very major ordeal. I think it has to be a new subdivision, which really only happens like once every 20 years. I mean, that's a really big deal. I can tell you. I mean, so I was on council in 2000.
Well, it can also be a new plat.
It could be a new plat, but I mean, both of these things only happen like.
Yeah.
The only time I think on OSAC that I've even seen it happen, other than Cheyenne Village, was someone replatting their property to build a garage, and they
Yeah,
would have owed us like $30. So I mean, it was.
right. Well, and it was also with another piece of property we're going to talk about. And just to get the language straight, it's actually, when you talk about it's either the land dedication or
Fees in lieu.
fees in lieu of land dedication.
Right.
It's never fees in lieu of land dedication. It's fees in
Right.
lieu of land dedication.
But Andrea, to answer your question, that is a very, very, very rare thing, especially because we really don't have that much land that can be subdivided. So it's
So
I
probably
used to,
the only time we would get new odd lots would be if somebody donated something to the city
or we go after and buy them.
and purchased.
Right, right. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. Anyway, let me get back to this. Sorry about that. So anyway, yes, for every one of these odd lots, we've got this. So this is basically, first page is a location. If you print that out, you can find a lot. And the second place is evaluation according to the criteria from the post and from the city ordinance, chapter 2.19. And we've gone through these and answered these questions, and also from other sources, which is primarily us. We came up at some point with in our discussions with questions that we wanted to ask, such as, are these bordering other large or small open space areas? And then every miscellaneous notes that the evaluator wanted to put here. And on this one, yeah, Ridge Road, it was just lots of deadwood, and should be high on the city's fire mitigation list. By the way, what we put down, what we ended up putting down for fire mitigation was, I think, in pretty much all of these, periodic removal of deadwood, and then maybe a comment after that. The point being, I didn't want to just put fire mitigation here, because that means something very specific to a lot of different people. And I'm not being facetious here. To some people, it means clear cut. And I don't think we want to suggest that we're clear cutting or something close to it in every one of these odd lots that needs us to go in there and clean up the deadwood. I don't know, maybe we need somebody, we do need somebody with expertise in this area to go around and look at these, because some of them are a jumble of deadwood all over the place, and some of them aren't too bad. There was something else. Oh yeah, invasive species, noxious weeds, invasive species. I thought I got rid of that doubling up. I just have TBD in here. I'm not an expert on, and I don't think anybody else was, on noxious weeds. So this would be a good place for our arborist to go around and take a look at this stuff. Certainly he would be the person that would know. And so every one of these things has this kind of analysis for it.
Wow, Tim. This is impressive. What a great amount of work.
Thank you. I just hope it's worth something. If nothing else, it's worth getting people off our back, not looking at the odd lot of open space.
Well, Tim, what was our bet? What bet did we have?
Yeah, I think you're going to pay me
Way to
$1,000
make the
bucks.
deadline. I think you did it.
I think it was like breakfast or something, wasn't it?
Maybe
So-
that was. Maybe that.
So, I mean,
was.
it's at least worth that.
It's at least.
So-
worth
Oh,
that.
man.
You have done an amazing job, man. That's that's
Thank
above
you.
and beyond.
Thank
That
you.
is incredible. I'll buy you
Again-
breakfast.
Again, like I said, you were out there looking at these things. You had a pretty good idea of where they were at the time, but a lot of these things are so, you can look at the map all you want, and unless you're looking at it 3 dimensions, you don't have the slightest idea where some of these things are. And it turns out there's a couple of them where you can be right next to them. You can have an address right next to them, and it's not even close, because there's a cliff intervening. And then how to get to that is a challenge. Anyway, so here this is. And that will get us down to the end here. Hold on. Why don't I
These
see?
are all zoned open space, is that right?
These are all zoned open space. This is an earlier version of this, because I got rid of all of these because it was too much to print. If somebody wanted to get this. It's a little bit earlier version, but that's okay. You get the idea. Let me scroll down here very quickly. And the last part of this, okay, after we get through all of these guys, we get over to part 2, which is evaluation of the open space parcel in the North Red Mountain Escarpment. And I've said this before, I'll say it very quickly again. The reason that I did this was that it made no sense at all. And I'll go down here to this map a little early. If you look at this map, this is a map of everything from Winona Road over to the Kerner open space. And then up here is Red Mountain. And some of these lots are 1,000 square feet. So to go over there and stand on that 1,000 square foot parcel and go through one of these evaluations makes no sense at all when this is all pretty much the same terrain, habitat, and all of that as the Red Mountain Open Space Management Plan talks about in great detail. So what I've done here is identify, this is an older version of this, identify all of the lots in here that are open space and not in the Red Mountain Management Plan, and all of the lots in here that are privately owned, and then all of the areas here. Let me blow this up a little bit, where there are homes. So this is where the homes come to. This is where the private properties are. And then this is where, and it's kind of an odd squiggly line around here. I'll show you that. This is where I walked. And I was pretty much walking the outside circumference of these odd lots, okay? So all of these can be evaluated in the same clump, okay? Also, if you look at this, it gives us a real good idea of who we want to market to, because all of these homes, most of these properties are owned by people that own these homes, and they have one piece of property or so that provide a buffer to the Red Mountain open space. But beyond that, these parcels are never going to be developed. And these are the people that we should be sending letters out to once or twice a year at least, just to say, hey, we're here, we're interested in purchasing your land, and give us a call and let's see if we can work something out. And what we need to do is we need to get together with Jillian in order to come up with this marketing plan, or somebody else. Jillian, are you there?
I'm here.
Oh, okay. So somebody from the city, and maybe Judith Chandler, you can help out here. So somebody in the city, if we really want to do this marketing, and there's a lot of work involved in getting this going, and I don't mind working with somebody to do that. But at some point, there's a lot of this that OSAC can do, but there's a lot of it that just has to be handed off to the city, because you don't want, maybe you do, I don't know. Maybe we need to talk about this at some point, probably not tonight, too much time, but or I need to talk to somebody. If I'm the new chair, I need to talk to somebody in the city about how we organize this. I mean, we can organize it on paper, but it's going to take somebody in the city getting very familiar with this, being willing to organize the letter that goes out. Once you get this going, it's pretty much automatic. You know, it's just a mail merge with with Word, and it'll print out the letters and everything. So anyway, I need to talk to somebody, whether I'm the chair or not, at the city about this, and we can put together a marketing plan just for making sure these people know we're out there. We'd love a donation. We could pay a little bit of money perhaps, and that sort of thing. Okay, so that about covers everything that I had to cover on this.
Tim, is the idea that we would want to purchase or receive these as a donation in order to put together one larger open space?
Eventually, what we'd like to do is, we have a lot of open space here, but we got a lot of big holes in it too.
Uh-huh.
And what would be nice is to put together this as one contiguous blob.
I got you.
Blob.
The main thing, the main reason, I mean, none of this affects our open space, but one of the main reasons the planning has always pushed to get all the lots is they can vacate that whole subdivision.
Right.
You cannot do that paperwork unless we own all of it. So it just kind of solidifies the mission. It's not something like, it's definitely not an emergency and a fire you need to worry about just yet. But if you always keep these people in the back of your head and someday you get it, then you can put it all together and it vacates a subdivision, and it's a better scenario.
Yeah, thanks, Shannon.
Yeah, no problem.
Let's see, there was something else absolutely essential I wanted to say, which I can't remember.
Where will this document be stored, Tim?
Good question. And that just happens to lead in to the next topic under the OSAC management. I think we're pretty much done here. Yeah, so let's keep going on this. Okay, okay. Let me pull up something else here. And the next thing, we've done the miscellaneous parcels evaluation. Let me unshare here. Stop sharing. Good. The next thing under that heading that we want to talk about is the OSAC document storage and guiding documents. And I had a really nice conversation with Andrea last week, and of course she's way out ahead of me with doing anything about this. So what we talked about basically was what documents we wanted in the guiding documents, how we could work with Alex to get to get a 10 gig to start with, area on whatever, whether it's Microsoft or Google storage area, and have it be have both a public access, which would be read only, and a OSAC access which would be read write. And so in answer to your question, Nancy, this would be where this document that we just talked about and a number of other documents would live. Okay, and I've got been going back and forth with Alex a little bit. And we'll be coming up with the initial folder hierarchy. And Andrea's got a real good start on, we want a kind of introduction to OSAC manual, and she's off and running on that. Andrea, you want to say anything about that?
I guess I don't really have anything to say about it, but we will present it. I'm thinking probably at the August meeting, but it basically just goes through like, here's when the tax was passed, here's how it works, here's what our guiding information is, kind of background information for anybody new to OSAC or continuing on OSAC. So.
Yeah, so thanks, Andrea. So that's where that's going to be living. Thanks for asking. And I'm done with that. Anything else that anybody wants to go into? And like I said, I would like somebody to talk to in the city that's really might be interested in doing this marketing or working with us to do this marketing.
Nancy? You're
Mm.
muted.
Judith, do you know if we've hired a new GPS person yet?
Oh, wonderful
Uh,
question.
To my knowledge, no, but I'm also thinking that the planning department, we have just an amazing planning department that I wouldn't in their involvement, but to my knowledge, we have not hired, we haven't filled that position unless it was this week, and I don't think so.
Yeah, the
That's
GIS
exactly what I was gonna
position's
ask,
not been
Nancy.
filled yet.
Oh, this is an incredible, I mean, like, I'm salivating on this. This is an incredible piece of work. My gosh. What an act. So much.
Really?
But so just an idea, the next meeting, when you have elections, this might be a topic of your, chair, vice chair, on who, and certainly, what role I can play to help that happen.
Okay, we lost a little bit of that sentence on who.
Sorry. Well, so after next month's elections, I think it's really a good thing to talk about who's going to be like part of the team to get these letters out, and who's going to manage it. Who's going to manage.
We lost you again.
I'm sorry, gosh, I got to get closer, I guess. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Yeah, so I think certainly the and director and the chair and vice chair and OSAC can let me know where this fits into the priority. In the meantime, I can certainly do a check and let you all know if they have any applications that they're considering for the GPS role, and when that might happen. So I can get that background going.
Yeah, this might be two different people that we're talking about.
Yep. Oh,
But it needs to come down on high that somebody needs to do this, because
absolutely.
I doubt anybody's going to walk in and volunteer.
Well, and then also, I think it's really, really important to get this into some kind of city, into a department, I would say planning department, where this stuff is in some kind of, not just passed down as folklore, because we've been doing that for a long time. Especially since planning hasn't been in the meetings. I mean, no offense, Jillian, at all, but we've been going through staff and we're very disjointed, and we don't have someone constant. I mean, even if it's a secretary, an assistant somewhere, keeping track of what we're doing and all that. So no matter what, you said something about it being a staff and who's going to write these letters and whatnot. Staff needs to be involved in that. So when people leave, that information doesn't leave with them.
Exactly. But Tim and the OSAC group that was involved in putting this together, you did the hard part. You did the hard part. You did the legwork. So now this amazing document, I would think planning, members of planning would be thrilled to get this and input it and be involved with sending out letters. Sending out letters is the easy.
Didn't hear you again.
You're breaking up again.
Okay, sorry.
Anybody else have questions or comments?
Just one other comment. Once this gets set up, it can pretty much be automated. It's not going to be a big labor intensive thing ongoing, but just getting it set up, identifying the people that we want to market to, writing the letter, which I think we can all go back and forth on a little bit. We have some good writers here. And then getting the city just to start cranking it out and having somebody at the city to answer the phone. If somebody calls or if somebody writes or something like that, getting to the right person. Anyway, that's it. We can talk about that a little bit next time. Okay,
Anybody else on that? Nope. Number 3, Black Canyon Open Space site visit. We set that up last time. So just for you guys in the future, the city, we have to do 24-hour notice. The city wants 48 hours notice before the 24-hour notice thing.
What?
So they have the time to post it because I don't know, Judy,
right, makes sense.
I know you were very upset that last time I couldn't just, hey, we have a 24-hour notice the next day. They have more things to do than us. So we can't just email them and say, hey, put this notice out right now. So they want 48 hours notice before they do a 24-hour notice. So keep that in mind moving forward. Somehow that the emails didn't go to the right people, phone calls didn't go through. Anyway, it didn't happen, and we all decided because we really crossed some lines probably with the sunshine law with my email. Sorry about that. You can fire me. We were talking about maybe Jillian should be involved in the Black Canyon Open Space site visit, and now she is here. You guys figure it out. What do you guys want to do? Tim, this is you're in charge now.
Oh, thanks.
I will not be at the site visit.
No, you won't. Which makes me sad. Okay, yeah, this is just the Black Canyon Open Space site visit.
We discussed it last time,
So
so
we're gonna go try and figure out what we want to do. We're not gonna do any alignments or anything like that. We're just trying to figure out what we can do with the open space that we have.
how to
knowing-
access it.
Knowing that we don't have the lots on the other side or the access to them, whatever. So this is just a 6 o'clock site visit. Anybody have a suggested time? And
Tim,
we're
hold
not-
on, Tim.
Yeah,
Andrea, how long are you gonna be gone?
good point.
And I'm gonna be gone for 2 weeks, starting Saturday.
Me too.
And you guys,
I'm gonna be gone for
always-
2 weeks. I will be gone 2 weeks in July also, just so you know.
you guys always, when you're doing site visits and you ask staff to be there, be very conscious of their time, because they do a long day. And then asking them to come to a site visit at 6 o'clock is sometimes not fair. But that's on you guys, just to kind of keep in mind when you move forward.
Okay, so what do you think we
I
ought
was
to
gonna
do?
say, what I'd like to propose is that we make the site visit for the early or whatever, the 3rd week in July, so that we can all go, because we've talked about this so much. I'd really like
Right.
to go to this one.
Well, we're gonna talk about another one too, but
Oh. I'm just saying it's not very valuable if a bunch of us aren't there. I didn't realize so many people were gonna be gone.
And
But-
it's not an emergency, guys. It doesn't have to be
Right.
done next week.
no, it does not
Okay.
have to be done next week. But we're not gonna get all of this in the same room at the same time like we do here. Unless we, man, I don't know, why don't we schedule a Monday meeting?
You know, and did we talk about, I mean, is there a reason why it has to be at 6 o'clock? Could we do it during regular business hours?
You could, but for me, that might cut into other people's ability.
We're all
You know,
here.
guys, just looking around, I think Andrea is the only one of you guys that's not retired, and she's off for the summer.
I'm not retired and I'm not off, but I want to make these work because I think they're important.
Well, what if we like push it back till August, like, I don't know, the 2nd Monday in August or something?
That's fine by me.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay.
Jillian, does that work for you?
Yes, right now that is wide open for me.
All right, we're jumping in.
The 7th or the 14th, are you talking?
So it'll be the second Monday in August, right?
That's the 14th.
The 14th?
Yeah.
Okay. Great,
Yay.
What time?
carry on.
Are we gonna,
Can
are we
we,
gonna?
can we offer, staff a few times to pick from or just, see where they're at? Because-
Let's give it a whirl, and I'm perfectly
Yeah.
willing to go out again with staff if they can't make that.
Jillian, what time can you do it?
Okay, making sure I'm unmuted. I can do 6 PM. Earlier would definitely be better. So anytime after noon, I'm available that day.
What about 4:30?
That works.
Is that, and then weren't we gonna all meet somewhere and then carpool, so we weren't all going up there?
Yeah, good question. I think, yeah, we could park in the
Swimming pool?
the
It was at
pool.
the pool.
the pool parking lot.
I just want to say, it's not a big deal to park up there along the road. I've done it a bunch of times. There's seldom any other cars parked along.
Excuse me.
It's a county road.
It is a county road and it is legal to park there.
Yeah,
It's
so,
kind of tight, but. Yeah, let's go ahead and park up there. One thing you need to know is that it's not where you think it is.
right.
Well,
Oh,
can I say something to that, guys, too? I mean, it's like
How
probably
about-
a half mile, 3/4 of a mile road. And I can tell you, you're gonna have a car every 1/8 of a mile all the way to the gate, and then you guys are gonna be walking up and down trying to find each other.
Mhm.
And you're gonna need to walk the whole road to look at the access anyway. So if you come in from El Paso, I think that will give you a
Okay.
better, easier way to meet.
Let's do that. Have we decided on 4:30 or 6 o'clock?
4:30.
4:30.
4:30.
4:30 on the 14th.
I don't know what we're doing. Are we going up El Paso to what?
You can just park right after the bridge there along El Paso by the park.
Fields Park.
Oh,
No, let's meet in the parking lot by the pool.
at the
That way
pool?
we'll get us all
At the
together.
pool? Okay.
Huh?
Are we back to the pool?
I think we're back to the pool. Yeah, we'll get
Parking lot.
everybody together and that way we can figure out.
Okay.
We're not looking for people. We'll all be there. We'll be in the same place and we can
So
go.
we're
You
meeting,
guys can start as a herd.
Yeah, we can start as a herd and then we'll see if we're cats or dogs
we can meet at 4:30 at the pool in the parking lot.
Right.
in the parking lot.
Will we
Okay.
have somebody, Tim, or will you have somebody have GPS points and stuff on there?
Yeah, I'll have that.
Okay,
It is very important to get this posted on Friday. So start that process on Wednesday.
Okay. Do we have to do anything more than what we've already done here?
You can create like an agenda that says site visit and the time,
Okay.
and that's it. And you give that to Alicia. She wants it by close of day, business day on Wednesday.
just one other question. Did we nix the idea of having Rimfee along to look at the possibilities of that being a trailhead?
We were just gonna go look ourselves. We thought there was plenty of time to do that.
Whatever.
I don't know. Andrea, do you think that's a good idea? To have room-free or doable idea?
I think they don't like to do stuff that we're not paying them to do, you know? So
No
there's
kidding.
that element.
I don't like that either, but
Right.
They are under contract. They are under contract.
They're
with
on a
us.
3-year contract.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's potential work for them.
Yeah. Well, I think it would be good to have us there just like at
Okay.
least initially and then
Okay.
invite them even with like 1 or 2 of us or something like that, or,
Okay,
that's my thought on it.
okay. I'll get that email to Alicia.
You guys good with that? Yep. Number
When would
4 is
they-
the Bill
when-
Bauer Park connection.
Hold on, just a second. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Shannon. When would we want them to post that? Do we have to tell them that
The
or?
Wednesday before.
Okay, Wednesday
So
before.
that's the 9th, August 9th.
What?
I thought you said,
It's the 14th.
It has to be posted.
No, the posting. the
Oh.
It'll have to be posted on
No,
Friday.
Sunshine law posting. How's that?
so get it to Alicia by Wednesday.
Right.
Because it has to be posted Friday for a Monday meeting.
And they take they want 2 days notice, so.
Okay, so we have to get it to Alicia by Wednesday before.
At noon, by Wednesday at noon. too.
She's pretty liberal with that noon, shoot for noon, but
Well,
she's cool with the end of
she
the day.
does- Yeah, she does really appreciate it if possible that it can be, because she's getting all sorts of stuff on that Wednesday. So if you can,
So
Okay.
just remember to treat your staff really good. And tip.
And
Get
why-
kidding about the tips.
What do you say?
They'll make your life easier if you give them the time. You guys ready to move on from this one?
Yeah, can we mention before everybody gets running off, when we end this, there is an executive session after this. It'll be real quick. Okay, that's it.
Number 4 is the Bill Bauer Park connection. You guys authorized me to talk to Larry Rose last week, and Jillian, I don't know if you've been updated on this or not. Bill Bauer Park is a park in Crystal Hills, and there's some open space at the very bottom where Crystal Hills Boulevard meets. It goes under 24 right behind the Emerald Fields. We found some private land in there that would connect that park to our open space, which will in turn connect it to Manitou Avenue. Last meeting, we authorized with a vote to offer 10 grand for that piece of property, and Larry Rose accepted that offer.
Hey,
So what we need to do is, now that you guys know it, we need to make a motion to recommend to city council that we buy this piece of private property from Larry Rose. All we can do is recommend, but the deal is in the works. Everybody agrees. We just need to hand it off to council. That's how we do acquisitions. Once we get a deal in the works, we recommend to council that they buy it for 10 grand, and then someone in, I think, planning makes it happen. So whoever wants to make a motion on that.
I'll make a motion.
Cheryl makes a motion to,
So I make a motion that we make a recommendation to city council to offer $10,000 to Larry Rose for the property that it's an access to Bill Bauer Park.
you know what, I can touch up the motion a little bit to give the parcel number.
Okay.
But just say that the property that connects our open space to Bill Bauer Park. and then-
So, yeah, okay.
Tomorrow morning, I'll write a letter to council that says what we did, and I'll put the parcel number in there.
I second the motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
That passes unanimously. Good deal. All right, guys. So that's cool. That's how we acquire property. Nancy, you're muted.
So there's a big chain link fence at the bottom of that property where it joins the road under the bridge.
Right.
Whose responsibility is that? And
Our
can
open space is to the east of that.
can you get to the road with the fence
Yes.
there?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Tim, you're muted.
Probably talking out of turn too. If you look in, gosh, I don't know how to tell you where it's at because it's all in parcel numbers, but there's actually a drawing of that in that parcel numbers document.
Of our open space or
And of our open space. And it also mentions the connecting trail to Bill Bauer's Park. I'll get the page number on that if you like.
Yeah, that would be good to put with the letter.
Yeah. Okay.
Anybody else have questions or comments about that? Nope. Number 5 is 284 Crystal Park Road. We had a site visit. The minutes were in your packet. I don't know that there's anything to talk about on this.
Uh.
Um,
It was fun.
I mean, it's cool meeting new neighbors. And I think that there were several people that probably had no idea what we've been talking about for the last couple of years. Anyway, everybody knows now. Does anybody have any questions or comments? Nope. 284 Crystal Park Road, as far as I would be concerned, if I was running meetings, is probably off the table until it has a new owner. Number 6, Oak Ridge Trail. That's Tim.
I'm sorry.
The Oak Ridge Trail connection.
Yeah. Oak Ridge- Oh,
I think you were talking about maybe doing a site visit.
yeah, we want to do a site visit. Hold on, let me get back with the group here. This isn't, I don't know, I'm kind of lukewarm on this now. It would be kind of a cool trail, but it wouldn't be a mountain bike trail. And the initial concept was to have a mountain bike trail that connected more directly with Iron Mountain. And we've got something else in the works that should have ever come along would make this completely unnecessary. So I don't know. I'd like to have a site visit at some time. It's kind of fun, but we don't have to do that tonight. We got enough stuff to go over. We can talk about that next time around.
Sound good? You guys ready to
Okay.
move on? You guys can figure that out when you guys set some more priorities. The Serpentine Master Plan is number 7. And as you guys remember, or maybe not, Skylar came to us at our, and Jillian, Skylar was 2 before you. I didn't know if you knew that. He came to us and said that he really needed a master plan for Serpentine Road, which is a property we just acquired. It's got quite a bit of open space land. It connects to Higginbotham Flats. It would be a real steep trail. But Skylar had the idea that he could put together a very big GOCO grant for that whole area. And he said someone needed to do a master plan first. And he said ours would be the low-hanging fruit. And if we did the master plan first, everybody could connect to us, everybody being Creek Walk, Rainbow Falls, and Higginbotham Park, Higginbotham Flats, whatever they're going to do. So we had put that higher on our priority list. He said it would be about $50,000 to get, and he had talked to someone, I don't know who that company was, about getting that going for us. We said that was a high priority for us in 2023. And then we had some kind of disruptions in our city staff. I talked to Roy not too long ago, 2 weeks ago, to just ask about this. Roy was going to connect with Skylar, find out who he was using, and then connect with you. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Yes, that makes sense. And what
Sorry.
I'll do is, can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Okay. What I'll do is connect with Roy and get Skylar's information and find out who we were working with and pick that back up.
Yeah. I think it's important. Do you guys have any questions or comments about that? I think it fell off our radar when we've been dealing with staff. So,
Right.
Nancy?
Just that city will be a big partner in that
Yes.
planning. Yeah.
We actually got money from Dole. That's for the design phase. We got some PP, Pikes Peak Rural Transportation and PPRTA money to do the design portion. So that's money sitting there just for us. So Jillian talked to Grant or Dole about that. It was kind of we had a special meeting just to go after that grant, and we got it.
Okay.
So
Awesome. Yeah.
there's extra money out there, but it's slated for different things. So
What was that again? The Pikes Peak, what?
Rural Transportation Authority,
Thank you.
which Dole sits on that as a board member. So he's got like a special connection for us. So Anybody else have questions or comments about that? Nope. Whoever's running the meeting, just pay attention. Steve Brimner got kicked off and he said he was going to come back in, but I don't know when that's going to happen. So just watch out if he comes back in. Number 8 is a Creek Walk Trail Phase 3 update. Talked to Dole end of last week. This is Monday, right? Yeah, end of last week. They got rained out quite a bit. They're pouring, he thinks most of the concrete would be poured by the middle of July. And he thinks the trail will be open mid to late August. So they're way behind because of the rain. We all know that there's been a ton of rain. And that's where they're at. So I just want to let you guys know. Yeah, Nancy.
Yeah, I said at our last meeting that I would talk to Dole and Denise about the Creek Walk Trail Committee. And I did that. I talked to both of them. Dole thought it would be really helpful to have a committee, and he cited several points where it would, decision points where a committee would be good. But then I talked to Denise, and the city has a new policy around community involvement. And she would rather see us follow that policy for involvement of a Creek Walk Trail Committee. So I guess I need to recontact Dole and just say, ask him how he wants to proceed.
All that's needed is a resolution to council that you want to form this, if you want to be recognized. The ordinance was passed on second reading last Tuesday. So there's a difference between a recognized group and a group that is not recognized by the city, but that doesn't mean an unrecognized group can't have.
Yeah, I know.
So anyway, just a resolution. If there's interested people, that would be fairly easy. And I recommend it. I think it would be great.
Okay. Well, I'll
And
talk.
as you guys remember, when we made our motion to give the money to the Creek Walk Trail, we also in that motion recommended to council that there should be a Creek Walk committee. Not necessarily us, but of the citizens of Manitou. So
Yeah. Okay, I'll talk to Dole again.
any other questions about Creek Walk?
Nope.
Nope. Future agendas, that's on you guys. Anybody have anything they want to add to a future agenda? Nope. Okay, so here, this is gonna, we should adjourn this meeting because we're gonna go into executive session. So before we adjourn, we're gonna do a motion and a second to adjourn. We're gonna go out of this meeting. We're gonna click out, leave meeting, whatever. We go back to the email that has our agenda in it and click on the executive session link. Right?
Yep.
Now, Jillian, I'm pretty sure we're going to need, I don't know how we're going to do this. I'm pretty sure we're going to have to come out of executive session to make a motion in a regular session.
Okay.
Do we go back? Will the link that we're leaving right now expire? How does that work?
I believe you can use the same link. I got like a detailed description of how this works. I believe you can use the same link. And I'm a novice at this. Am I in the executive session or is that just the
You
OSAC
can
board?
you can be in this executive session.
Okay.
So does that all make sense? So bear with us, guys, because I mean, we haven't done an executive session since I can't even remember when. And when we did it, we had the city administrator and the engineer. We had a lot of people helping us through it. Luckily, we have 3 people who used to be on city council that can kind of help guide us through it. The Zoom part is going to be the weird part, getting back in and whatnot.
Right.
So could I get them? So we're going to adjourn and then we're going to go follow the other link and then we'll chit chat about, we got to chit chat. And then we're going to go back to regular session to make them to vote. Yeah.
One thing before we adjourn, Judith, I just wanted to tell you that Just the documents that's in our package is one rev out of date. So let me get you a copy of this or something, or somehow send it out to everybody.
And if I could just make one comment before we go into executive session. If a motion is put on the table, we just can't specifically state the property.
Right. What
So
we're gonna
I'm sure
do-
you'll know that.
Oh, okay,
What
interesting.
we're gonna
Right.
do is I'm gonna help craft that motion. When we come out, we're gonna make a motion to do or not do what we discussed in executive session.
Very well.
So it's
good.
super
So-
vague. Sounds like secret squirrel stuff, but this is the way we do it.
Okay, well, hold on. We have one other thing we wanted to talk about here, and that was the agenda item that we added back in, number 9, for
right.
site visit,
Yes.
a site visit to Eagle Mountain.
Good call, Tim. Sorry, I forgot
that
all
we're
about
gonna-
that.
That we're gonna lay on
Bring
Steve,
that.
Steve to tell us all about right now.
Well, sure, I'm willing to take a trip up there to Eagle Mountain and show you what I know, because I use those trails a lot up in there. So Andrea, I met Andrea on the Intamin Trail, and we talked about going up there, me showing her the Eagle Mountain Trail, and then I mentioned that I was going to do it with Tim last summer, and that never happened. So I said, why don't you, I, and Tim go up there? Well, Tim said we can't do that because that's a official meeting, and we have to open it to the public. So I said, okay, let's have a party. Anybody wants to come, let's go. So I'm willing to lead a hike up Eagle Mountain.
Okay, that's a long hike. So it's not a 6 o'clock in the evening hike. So
It could be.
It's
Well-
not too far. I mean, we don't have to go forever, but even if we hiked up to Crystal Park Road, because that's one thing you can do is there's a trail that switchbacks up pretty steeply up to Crystal Park Road.
yeah,
I think if people are in reasonable shape, we could do that in an hour and a half up there.
up and
then
back.
down. Well, maybe 2 hours up and back, 2.5 hours. I don't know. I mean, for me,
I'd go
it's,
for,
you know,
I'd go for
45
4
minutes.
because we're chatty.
Okay,
Then we've got search and rescue we have to deal with.
yeah.
Nancy, what's your input?
I am confused about why we're talking about Eagle Mountain again when we don't own it. It's private property and it's not in our purview. I'm completely verklempt.
That's
Um,
all true, but it's kind of a cool trail and we do have an easement on.
Yeah, the
Yeah, I
easement.
think the COG is willing to work with us on trails up there if we want. I think.
Okay, I think there needs to be discussion about whether you want to take on that trail and maintenance of that trail, and if
But that-
legally we can
I
do
don't,
that.
you can't. It's not our property. It's the United States Forest Service and COG. We cannot take on the maintenance of that trail.
So I don't even know why we're talking about it.
So it's all part of a conversation that we are hoping to have with the COG too about it. The COG has been very supportive of trail work in the region. I shouldn't say the COG, the Broadmoor. So, you know, part of it's, you know, those trails already exist. There are a lot of people in our community that would love to have, you know, better access. There are a lot of homeless encampments that build up in that
Mhm.
region. And so that's part of the idea to try and get people in and around there. So it's really, you know, it's not necessarily the city of Manitou Springs saying, hey, yeah, we want to take on management of these trails. It's working with the COG to do that.
So shouldn't we figure out if we can even do that before we do a site visit? If we do have players that are going to let us do that?
This is just a hike.
Okay,
You know, this is just a hike for people to see what's up there. And then when we have the conversation about it, we'll have a better idea of what we're doing. And nobody has to go. And we'll have enough people. We'll have enough people that are familiar with it.
So we're going to put this off till August also?
I suppose so. I don't know. What do you think, Steve? Well, this is gonna be a weekend outing, I think.
Yeah, I can do it. I've got, a couple trips planned as usual, but yeah, I think I'm gonna be August, I'll be out for about 2 weeks, but there's 2 weeks I'll be home, so.
Is there any reason not, I mean, I realize the days are getting shorter, but if we're gonna make it a weekend hike, is there any reason not to push it into September? It's a dry month usually. And could be less hot.
Fine by me. I
Steve?
don't think, there's no rush on this, is there,
Yeah,
Andrea?
right.
Well, the last 2 weeks of September, I'm in Italy, so the first 2 weeks is fine, I guess.
Oh, too bad.
I just want to say that I think it is important to do a site visit, even though we don't own the property, because people are using that trail from Manitou, but if there are a lot of homeless people up there with fire danger and et cetera, really affecting Manitou, I think that it would be beneficial for us to go up and just take a look and maybe deal with, the property owners of maybe any issues that we feel would be affecting us.
But as far as homeless people go, I monitor that quite a bit because I do that trail once every week or 2 weeks. And there's one homeless person living up there now, and keeps a very clean camp. She's very sane and rational, and I haven't reported her because I help her out a little bit, hauling garbage down for her. But yeah, so there's only one person up there now, and
Okay.
she's completely harmless.
Okay, good. That's good to hear.
I'm sorry.
Are you allergic to meetings, Tim?
Pardon me?
I asked you if you're allergic to meetings.
Yeah.
I'm looking at a calendar and it says that September 16th. Are you still here, Steve?
That's the day I fly to Italy.
So it has to be the 9th then. If we're
I
talking
think I
about a
do.
Saturday.
Yeah.
Anybody looking ideas? Because you'll be back at school, right, Andrea? And I'll be at work during the week. So the 9th is the weekend before is Labor Day weekend. That's probably not a good idea.
The 9th is the weekend after Labor Day, isn't it?
Yeah, no, I said the weekend before is Labor Day weekend.
Yeah.
The first, second, whatever, third.
9th will work for me.
What, Tim? Everybody?
Yeah, I'm having an asthma attack, excuse me. Asthma, is that right? Pollen in the air, is that asthma?
If you can't breathe, go like this.
Huh?
Go like this. It gets bad.
We'll call the.
Will do.
Yeah.
I'll just drop to the floor. And you'll
Don't do that.
no, it's not bad. I'm usually not going to have this. The 9th would be fine by me.
Would be good.
Time. 9?
9 at
Nice.
9, boy, that's easy.
9 sounds good to me. Anybody else?
Yeah.
Okay,
Where are you going to meet?
good question.
Well, I
Say
would
the trail.
say like Spring Street, close to the Iron Spring, Spring.
And you're breaking up.
Yeah, the Intimate Trail, where it starts on Spring Street there.
Yeah.
Does everybody know where that's at?
No,
Nope.
trail. At Spring, at what
On
street?
Ruxton
I'll provide
and Spring Street.
a map.
Iron Springs Chateau would be a really good landmark.
There you go. There you go. Why don't we meet in the parking lot of the Iron Spring Shed?
Okay,
What do you think, Steve?
That's fine.
Okay.
But are you allowed to park there?
Well, if you want
Go
to
park
drive there, it might be problematic. You could take the shuttle up
Yeah, you
To
can park in.
by the
Some of us
cog
can
railway
walk.
and then walk down.
3 of us can walk right that far, but the rest of you,
Or you can take the free shuttle from Hiawatha Gardens
To where?
to
the
the
Iron-
cog railway.
Or you can park in front of my house and we can walk. But I probably won't be here.
Okay, we need to,
Okay.
So you guys are doing this the 9th at 9 at Iron Springs Chateau. You got to figure out how to get there.
yeah, we'll take care of that next month.
Cool. Can I have a motion to adjourn this? And Steve, you missed this. We have to go, or no, you didn't. You were here. We're going to adjourn. Go back. Nancy.
I move to adjourn to executive session for the purpose of considering the purchase or sale of property for public purposes.
Awesome.
Wow.
I second.
All those in favor?
Favor.
So click out and we'll see you in just a minute.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.